Hello, church, and welcome to my midweek pastor's update for Wednesday, April 14th. Start off with a couple just news and notes. One is I want to say thank you to Ken Moore for organizing and hosting the first Zoom church council meeting, virtual meeting that we had last night. It was great. I had a little trouble personally signing on, but that was my own internet issues. But once I got on, it was really well done. Had some hiccups, of course, some unintended comedy as we all tried to figure out who was going to talk and when, and various unexpected sounds that you hear. But overall, it was a great meeting and an illustration of how your church leadership team is doing everything we can to manage and thrive in this time when we can't physically be together and near one another. Second thing I want to say is another big thank you for the response that I've gotten for the appeal that I did a couple weeks ago for those scrub caps. We've gotten great response. If you're still making them, please continue. They're very, very much appreciated. Both my friend who's a nurse in Sacramento and Jenny Serrano and her team up here in Auburn, they just say they're so great. They appreciate them. So if you're making scrub caps or even if you're making masks, go ahead, bring them up. There's a bin outside the church office door, and just thank you for doing that. So a couple things that have been on my mind this week. It hit me that it's about a month now that we've been in quarantine, and so many funny things have become part of my awareness of reality lately. Like, I don't know if any of you have this, but I have the hardest time keeping track of what day it is. I had to look up, before I made my, this little blurb here, this update. I had to look up what the day was and the date. It's just something, I guess, that's part of the reality when every day is sort of not characterized by the normal rhythms that we all have. I also had an interesting conversation with my wife just today about how it's getting a little bit some of this way of talking about it and being connected to the reflective aspects and how appreciative we are of this time we've had to develop certain aspects within ourselves or gifts or skills or just relationships. We're just sort of like, I'm ready to kind of talk about something else. And to have that conversation is not to say that we don't appreciate what this time of quarantine has afforded us. All of us, I feel, are really connected to that, and it's very powerful. But there is a bit of a fatigue, I think, in just sort of being in that reflective place or just talking about it. And, I think even talking to some of my friends, the same nurse who's down in Sacramento, she was saying, there's a fatigue on the staff where after a month or the time that they've been taking such care with their precautions and stuff, it's hard not to get lax in little ways or to let certain things slide. And it's just, you have to work really hard to stay disciplined, to stay focused on what's important. And I know that if it's hard for healthcare workers, it's hard for all of us in our own reflective ways to sort of stay connected, stay focused, to do those practices that are what we should be doing in order to maintain our best, potential for health and maintaining social distance and all those things, hand washing. So just been feeling a little bit of that lately. And I think the longer this goes, another thing we've been noting, and I think been hearing about a little bit more, is there's sort of this sense of as we get tired of doing the things we're asked to do, we sort of start looking at each other, and judging each other and acknowledging, or saying if we see someone who's coughing and isn't wearing a mask or something, we sort of look at them a little different. And it's easy to fall into those places of judgment and comparison and fatigue and just wanting it to be over. And I think all of that is it's just a natural part of the progression, I think, through a time like this, unprecedented as it is. So I'm feeling these kind of things and seeing them around me. And then I came across a wonderful Facebook post by the daughter of Carol and Jim Whiteson. Many of you may know her. Her name's Elise. And she posted this yesterday, and I wanted to share it with you because I just thought it was a beautiful expression of kind of where a lot of us are in our day-to-day living. So here's what she wrote. I'm not able to do the majority of my work since it is hands-on and I'm not considered essential. I'm not able to see my friends other than through Zoom. I'm not able to casually shop for a new dress for the changing weather. I'm not able to peruse the grocery store, getting lost in all the food possibilities. I'm not able to easily go to the beach and feel the sand beneath my toes. I am not able to go sit in a restaurant and eat my favorite meal with my favorite people. But you know what I am able to do? I'm free to choose how I look at this time. I'm able to dance in the uncertainty. I'm able to be happy just sitting on my balcony, staring out. I'm free to feel my feelings. I'm able to appreciate things that are coming up in the near future. I'm able to feel the warm sun kiss my face. I'm able to just sit and be without feeling that I should be doing something else. I'm able to be in the present moment and see, despite what the news tells me, that the flowers are blooming and the birds are singing and that this world really is beautiful. I am able to choose faith over fear and use this time for my own personal growth, a time to look at my shadows and lovingly bring them up into the light. There is so much we can do. We have way more personal control than we ever have been led to believe. Start playing with your own personal freedom and you might be dazzled by the joy you find inside. You have the power. And I really needed to read that, and I hope that that's something that can feed you too. Because regardless of whether you are still in that appreciation, the deep appreciation and acknowledgement of how awesome this time is and the reflective possibilities are in it for you, or if you're finding yourself kind of grieving what you're not able to do, or if you're just tired of it, or wherever you are, what she's talking about there is it's all part of the deal. And so my hope, what I want to offer today is just whatever you might be feeling, be there and recognize that you don't need to be stuck in it. It's a passing thing. And that with that allowance that you give yourself to be wherever you are, you can get back to these places of wanting to, step more fully into this time. So I hope all of you are finding your own ways to remain inspired, find your creative expression, find outlets for the things that you're feeling and thinking and doing, that it is all able to be brought forward and lifted up as worships, as mini worships before God, before all of creation and the beauty that's around us. I hope you find that today and each day. I look forward to the next time that we'll be together in one of these updates. In the meantime, be in Christ's peace.